Why did Joe Biden and his administration just deploy Delta teams all across the United States of America? And why did Anthony Fauci come on Communist News Network, also known as CNN, and state that America just may be split into two parts? Now, before I get into the report, just a quick break. Now, inflation isn't something that we've heard of for quite a while, now is it? But last month, the inflation rate right here in the United States of America was at its highest rise for 29 years. Yes, you heard that right, 29 years. That's a very long time, and since 1992. This is a really, really big problem for all of us, with our food going up, our gases, and our everyday items literally skyrocketing. But what's also terrifying is if you plan on retiring anytime soon. Here's the thing, you need to put an inflation dam up in order to stop it from completely wiping out all of your investments and all of your retirement savings. And it's not too late to do that. Right now, Noble Gold Investments and noblegoldinvestments.com can help you with that. They specialize in retirement planning and IRAs, and their team of experts is your first step. So check them out at noblegoldinvestments.com. And right now, what's even cooler is they are giving away this 1 ounce American Eagle solid silver proof coin with every IRA or 401k. But here's the one that I personally have here, and you can see the front side there, and I'm going to flip it over on the back. But this thing is absolutely amazing, and I really keep it as a keepsake for myself and my family, and it even comes with a certificate of authenticity. But I want to encourage you today, just make sure you have some kind of investment backed by gold, silver, precious metals, these kinds of things, because we really don't know the state of the economy, and things are getting worse with each passing day. Protect your assets by going to noblegoldinvestments.com or give them a call today at 1-877-646-5347 and let them know you heard it on Lisa Haven. There's also information found in the description box below. Anyhow, back to the broadcast. All right, so let's start first with Joe Biden and the fact that he is deploying Delta teams all across the country. Take a look at this article on CNNpolitics.com. White House to deploy response teams focused on combating Delta variant of COVID-19. Now, the article goes on to state, the Biden administration is set to announce on Thursday that it is deploying response teams across the U.S. to areas with a high spread of the highly contagious Delta variant of COVID-19 as concerns grow around the nation, a White House official told CNN. These teams, made up of officials from the U.S. CDC, the Department of Health and Human Services, and FEMA, will go into communities where officials are worried about the potentially deadly combination, which is low vaccination rates and a significant presence of the highly transmittable form of the virus. The White House has deployed similar response teams in the past, but this is the first time they are focused on the Delta variant, a White House official said. These response teams will conduct surge testing, provide therapeutics like monoclonal antibodies, and deploy federal personnel to areas that need support staff for vaccinations. The White House coronavirus team is spearheading this effort, and officials expect the teams to help with everything from boosting testing to providing supplies and potentially increasing paid media efforts targeting regions where vaccinations are low. While that article sounds really good on the surface, I can't help but shake this feeling that it's just more federal intrusion into our daily lives. And I question if this will be a more permanent thing. Either way, they're making a really big deal about this Delta variant virus right now in the mainstream media. Here's what I'm talking about. CBSNews.com. As Delta variant sweeps the United States, COVID vaccinations rise in Arkansas. NBCNews.com. Threat of Delta variant looms large in unvaccinated South. Forbes.com. Fauci. Delta variant doubling in U.S. every 2 weeks in greatest threat to eradicating COVID. Politico.com. CDC Director. Delta variant is growing threat to unvaccinated people. I think we get the drift here. Unvaccinated people are at risk to catch both COVID-19 and the Delta variant of COVID. I'm pretty sure the unvaccinated people know that, but I digress. That said, I really love what Senator Rand Paul had to say about the variant. Take a look at his Twitter page where he tweeted this, and I quote, "Don't let the fearmongers win. New public England study of Delta variant shows 44 deaths out of 58,822. Or 0.08% in unvaccinated group." If true, I'd really love to see that study. With that, I also want to show you this clip of Anthony Fauci talking about America being split in two. Take a listen.
When you have such a low level of vaccination superimposed upon a variant that has a high degree of efficiency of spread, what you are going to see among under-vaccinated regions, be they states, cities, or counties, you're going to see these individual types of blips. It's almost like it's going to be two Americas.
So fake Fauci says it's almost as if there are two Americas. You know, a vaccinated America and an unvaccinated America. Is he hinting at some kind of COVID passport that he wants to implement in the near future? Well, I think we should have a freedom of choice and abide by the Constitution when it comes to that. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning into the broadcast. Everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, the truth about the Democratic Party has finally started to surface as millions of Americans are now waking up to the idea that the old Democratic Party is gone, and in its place has risen a party that is all about socialism and communist ideas and principles. You see, right now, many Democrats are so upset that they are even turning on their own. In fact, the VP of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, has just been blown, well, out of the water. You see, people within her office are now reporting how abusive her office has been. Now, before I get into the report, I want to remind you, get to restrictedrepublic.com. This is a platform I started where you can get exclusive video content and video content without any of the commercials that you get here on YouTube. And it's been amazingly successful. I want to encourage you, if you're not on Restricted Republic right now, then you are missing out. Check it out and be a part of fighting the good fight at restrictedrepublic.com. Join thousands of others. And thank you guys who have already joined. It's been an amazing blessing. All right, so let's get into what's going on with Kamala Harris. Well, for starters, did you know that our VP has the most radical leftist voting record than any other person or politician out there? Take a look at this article on governmenttrackerinsider.com. Our ideology score places Kamala Harris as the most liberal senator in 2019. What kinds of bills has she introduced? ? CNN even fact-checked it. Here it is. Fact check, CNN. Is Kamala Harris the most liberal member of the Senate? The article goes on to say, facts first. Harris's voting record in the Senate is certainly one of the most liberal, though her record prior to the Senate is more moderate on some issues. In other words, fact check, 100% correct. Kamala Harris is more liberal than Bernie Sanders, more liberal than Elizabeth Warren, more liberal than AOC and the entire squad members. And she, right now, is basically the one that seems to be pulling Joe Biden strings as far as, well, a lot of these leftist radical policies are concerned. So we've got a radical in the White House. Here are some of the things that she's actually proposed in the past. Take a look. This is on WashingtonTimes.com. Kamala Harris compared ICE officers to the KKK. Breitbart.com. Kamala Harris is the most liberal senator who backed a Green New Deal and, of course, Medicare for all. Breitbart.com. Kamala Harris's radical Green New Deal vision. Ban plastic straws, alter food pyramid to limit red meat. Access.com. Kamala Harris says she would fully repeal and replace GOP tax law. Townhall.com. In bid for White House, Kamala Harris promised to usurp the Constitution in quest for gun control. And finally, Breitbart.com. Kamala Harris once laughed hysterically after joking about killing President Trump. No joke. She actually laughed about that, but I digress. She is one of the most radical people right now in leadership in the United States of America. And here's a little icing on the cake, so to speak. Right now, many people in her office are actually calling her out for some pretty abusive practices. Take a look at this article on dailymail.co.uk. Kamala Harris's abusive office vice president was rocked by claims that staffers are treated like the S word, and that chief of staff Tina Flournoy has created a blame culture despite Biden's threat to fire anyone treating colleagues poorly. Now, the original article came from Politico.com and it's headlined, "Not a Healthy Environment. Kamala Harris's Office Rife with Dissent." The article goes on, in interviews, 22 current and former vice presidential aides, administration officials, and associates of Harris's and Biden's described a tense and at times dour atmosphere in the office. Aides and allies said Flournoy, in an apparent effort to protect Harris, has instead created an insular environment where ideas are ignored or met with harsh dismissals and decisions are dragged out. Often, they say, she refuses to take responsibility for delicate issues and blames staffers for negative results that ensue. The article goes on, while much of the ire is aimed at Harris's chief, two administration officials said the VP herself also bears responsibility for the way her office is run. "It all starts at the top," said one of the administration officials, who, like others, requested anonymity to be able to speak candidly about the sensitive matter. "People are thrown under the bus from the very top. They are short fuses and it's an abusive environment," said another person with direct knowledge of how Harris's office is run. "It's not a healthy environment and people often feel mistreated. It's not a place where people feel supported, but a place where people feel treated like the S word." In just 6 months, some of those aides in the office of the VP said they are eyeing other employment opportunities. Others have already left. In recent days, two top advanced staffers, Carly and Gabrielle, parted ways with Harris in what they and Harris officials said were long planned departures. Kamala Harris's own office has a very abusive atmosphere, to the point where 22 of her staff members decided to speak out against it on Politico, a liberal, left-leaning mainstream media news site. This is very clearly Democrats turning on their own. Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns on all of this. Please don't forget to check out my partner at noblegoldinvestments.com. Right now, they have this amazing American Eagle silver coin here, and I'm going to throw it close on the screen here so you can see it. But this is 2011 American Eagle 1 ounce silver proof coin here, and this is given with any IRA or 401k that you can do through noblegoldinvestments.com. If you haven't had the opportunity to convert your 401k or to get a 401k, now is the time to do that.